The year was 1673. The winds howled through the crumbling rooftops of the small highland hamlet of Dunsey, clinging to the steep cliffs of Scotland's western coast. Fog rolled in from the sea each evening like a ghostly tide, cold, damp, and silent. In that fog lived whispers of a secret brotherhood known only as the Grey Cloak, said to keep ancient pacts with powers older than any king or crown. Margaret, a midwife from a nearby village, first heard of them when she was sent to deliver a child at the manor of Lord Mick. The manor was dark, filled with corridors smelling of damp stone and dried herbs, and at the edge of the grounds stood a gnarled oak carved with strange sigils, faint but unmistakable, a triple knot, a downward crescent, and a single dripping tear. The oak's bark looked scorched, yet the air around it felt strangely warm, as if the tree exhaled heat. Margaret felt the warmth deep in her lungs, slow and heavy, her breath lingering like smoke in a cold chamber. She tried to warn the lady of the manor. These marks, they are old, very old, dangerous. But the lady only nodded, pale lips tight. Later that night, Margaret watched from a cracked window. A circle of candles flickered in the meadow beyond the manor walls. Gray-cloaked figures moved between the flames, their hoods high, robes brushing the dewy grass. They did not speak. Their breaths rose, as silent mist under the candlelight, as if the mist itself bent toward them. One figure pressed a hand to the oak, traced the sigils with trembling fingers, then stepped back. The candles flared, one by one, as if windless, though no breeze stirred. The flames danced upward, elongated like tongues reaching toward heaven. The air cracked with a sound like ancient stone shifting, and Margaret felt a deep vibration under her feet, slow, resonant, alive. Her chest tightened. She tried to move, to return to the manor hall, but her legs refused. It was as if the earth itself held her. Suddenly the candle flames vanished. Absolute darkness swallowed the meadow. Margaret's breath came in shallow gasps, in, out, in like a bellows, struggling to breathe. The silence that followed pressed on her eardrums. Then, a soft, whispering sigh, like someone exhaling far away, from beneath the earth. The cloaked figures dissolved into the blackness. Nothing moved. Only the oak remained, its bark still glowing faintly, as though marking a wound in the world. Margaret fled, stumbling bloodless, with only the echo of that sigh in her mind. She reached the manor door. Inside, the lady lay pale and silent, the newborn child quiet at her breast. Margaret handed over the babe and apologized. Without a word, she turned and walked straight out into the fog, into the night that swallowed her whole. For weeks, she wandered from village to village. She never spoke of what she saw. In every hearth-lit room she slept. She awoke hearing faint whispering, as though the wood in the walls sighed softly, remembering the ritual. She changed her name, kept to crossroads at dusk, avoided wooded paths. But always, when the fog rolled in with the sea wind, she felt the draw, a slow inhalation, a longing. They listen, the memory warned. Centuries passed. Stories turned to legend. Some said the Grey Cloak dissolved after a terrible night. Others claimed they still gathered, in mist-shrouded glades, under oak trees carved with sigils long lost to history. Travelers still shiver at the sound of wind rattling old windows, convinced it is the breath of something ancient, waiting. And sometimes, late at night, when the sea fog creeps over the cliffs, and the candles in distant windows flicker, a whisper drifts through the air, soft, knowing, eternal.